Hello VIC, it's good to talk to you like this. Definitely miss coming to church. I want to first of all say thank you to Pastor Omar for the opportunity to share a bit during this trial, these times, right? And I think everyone might be facing some sort of discomfort with the fact that we have to stay inside our houses. We cannot gather, we cannot be together. And meditating in God's word, there's an interesting passage in John 20:19. That's when after Jesus was crucified, the disciples are together in one house, and it says that they were behind locked doors in fear. And at that moment, Jesus comes in and said, peace be upon you. I think in times of quarantine or isolation that we have now, this is a very powerful word of the example of God to us. We might be inside our house with the locked doors, and if we are in fear, because that is the regular way of feeling in situations like this, fear for ourselves, our loved ones, as an international church, fear for maybe our families that are in other countries, in difficult situations, as this disease spreads and slowly becomes even more personal to each one of us. But the fact is that even if we are locked inside our houses in fear, Jesus will come in. So walls around him did not stop him from actually coming and declaring and bestowing peace on the hearts of the disciples. It reminds me also on the Sermon on the Mount on Matthew 6, after the verse 25, when Jesus says, don't be anxious about anything. Don't be anxious about your life, what you're going to eat. Don't be anxious what you're going to drink, about your body or what you're going to wear. And when he says don't be anxious about your body, it can also be like don't be anxious about your health. Does that mean that we need to be oblivious of what's happening around us and pretend like nothing is happening? Not at all. As Christians, we have to engage, but we need to engage in a way that we know that the way that we engage is spiritually. So what I want to send to everyone as part of something that God has been talking to my heart during this period of time is that first of all, we need to meditate on his word. The same way that we saw in Joshua 1:8, meditate day and night. So use the time that you have now, that you're home, that you're maybe you cannot go out to work or you have to stay inside, and meditate. Meditate in the word day and night. Pray. That's also another thing that we usually forget. In 1 Thessalonians 5:17, the word says that we need to pray continuously. The Portuguese version of this verse says, pray non-stop. So that means that by praying, and then you might say, but Luis, what difference will it make if I pray? I'm just one person. But the Bible also says in James 5:16 that the prayer of a righteous person is powerful, has great power. So even though we are behind doors, we're behind walls, we shouldn't be stopped. We shouldn't be fearful of acting. Our weapons are spiritual. So when you pray, Jesus will provide, Jesus will manifest his power, and we will see a great transformation in our lives during this period and also in our nation. In that point, all I have to add at the end is also what's written on 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all situations. Again, it's not for us to be oblivious of the situation or the suffering of our fellow brothers, that some of them cannot stay at home. Some of them has to go out and work. Some of them are working in health, and they're with great risk of being exposed to this disease. But in our heart, we give thanks because God has protected us this far, that God is providing us in a country that we are, and providing also to the leaders across the world the proper thinking to maybe protect the people. Give thanks that the church is alive, and that the same Jesus that was not stopped by walls will not stop this church of acting. So pray, meditate on his word, donate, help whoever you can. But most important than all, if Jesus will spread out his word and his healing, we should be seeding hope in the hearts of those around us. Thanks again. God bless, and I hope that we can see each other very soon.